I froze when the old woman held the picture frame in her trembling hands. "This girl," she whispered, gently tracing the smiling face in the photograph. "I miss her very much." I swallowed. "Ma'am, the girl in the photo is my fiancée." That was the moment everything changed. Her name was Mrs. Alden, an elderly woman living in a small-town nursing home where I volunteered every Saturday. I only took the photo out of my wallet because the others kept asking about my life, my job, my upcoming wedding. And showing them my fiancée, Emily, always made me smile. But not this time. When Mrs. Alden said she missed Emily, the room suddenly felt colder. "You knew her?" I asked, trying to sound calm. Mrs. Alden nodded slowly, eyes glistening. "She used to visit me every Friday. She brought sunflowers, because she said everyone deserves a reminder of warmth." My heart twisted. Sunflowers were Emily's favorite. But, she never told me. She spent most of her time helping others, the old woman said. She talked about someone she loved, someone who made her brave. "I suppose that was you." A tear slipped down before I could hide it. Emily had passed away 8 months earlier. A car accident. A single moment that shattered everything I was planning for, our home, our wedding, our life. But hearing that she spent her final months bringing flowers to an elderly stranger, that brought a whole new wave of emotion. "Why didn't she tell me about you?" I whispered. Mrs. Alden smiled softly. "Honey, people like her don't do kindness to be remembered. They do it to make others feel less alone." I didn't know how long I sat there, stunned, heart aching yet strangely comforted. Mrs. Alden carefully handed the photo back. "Would you tell me about her?" she asked. "I never learned her name." So I did. I told her about the way Emily laughed with her whole chest, like she didn't care who listened. About her obsession with roadside diners. About the rescue dog she wanted to adopt but hadn't yet convinced me to say yes to. About the way she always said, "If you have something to give, even something small, you give it. That's how we make the world gentler." When I finished, Mrs. Alden wiped her eyes. "She gave me her Fridays," she whispered. "I haven't had a visitor since she stopped coming." I thought she'd just gotten busy. My chest tightened. It was like hearing the echo of grief in someone else's voice. I took a slow breath. Then maybe I can take her place. Mrs. Alden looked up sharply. "You don't have to do that. You're young. You have your whole life to live." "Maybe," I said. "But she cared about you. And if she can't be here anymore, maybe I can come for both of us." The old woman broke down crying, not loudly, not dramatically, but softly, like the kind of sob that comes from being seen for the first time in years. From that day on, I visited her every single Friday. I brought sunflowers. I read to her the books Emily loved. We looked through old albums of a life she felt slipping away, and I listened, really listened, to her stories. The nursing staff said she smiled more, ate more, and even started humming old songs under her breath. One Friday evening, months later, her son finally came to visit after years of silence. I watched them reunite, awkward at first, then tearful, then full of apologies on both sides. Mrs. Alden later told me, "It's because of you. You reminded me how it feels to matter." But what I didn't tell her was that she had reminded me of something too. That grief didn't have to be a bottomless pit. That love, when shared, doesn't disappear, it multiplies. One afternoon, she asked, "Why do you still come? Your fiancé is gone, you could have moved on." I smiled. "I think, this is moving on. Not forgetting her, but continuing what she started." She took my hand gently. "You know, she'd be proud of you." I blinked fast to hide the tears. "I hope so." Mrs. Alden lived 2 more peaceful years. She passed away with her family around her, in a room filled with sunflowers. She left a letter for me. Your kindness brought light back into my final days. If you ever feel lost, remember, love isn't meant to stay still. It's meant to be given away. I keep that letter next to Emily's photo. And every time I read it, I'm reminded of how two strangers, brought together by loss, ended up healing each other. Sparkle's uplifting ending message. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness, one visit, one conversation, one sunflower, can ripple further than we ever imagine. We're all connected, even in ways we might never expect. And even after someone is gone, the love they left behind still has the power to change lives.